Today's story is about Kenneth, or also he goes by the name of Ken. Very interesting story because Kenneth is a very mild person. I've got to know him as his coach for quite some time, and one of the key factors is that he struggles in his relationship. He feels self-inflicts discomfort on himself to deal with his emotions, to deal with what he feels, because he has no control of his life and he just wants to be a pleaser. And so I'm going to give you some insight now on what he's going through with a wife who has to control every breathing moment of Kenneth's life. Take a listen to the story. Thanks for tuning into this show. Before we get started, if you can, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. It goes a very long way in helping people out there that really need help in reference to something that this story might cover that they're going through. Enjoy the story. Thanks for tuning in. Kenneth is a man who spent more than 20 years inside a marriage that looks stable from the outside, but feels suffocating from the inside. A marriage where one person bends and the other person never does. A marriage where obedience is rewarded and independence is punished. This is Kenneth's story. This is the story of what happens when a gentle man meets a partner who only understands control. And what happens when 20 years of quiet compliance turns into a lifetime of anxiety, exhaustion, and emotional erosion. In the early years, Kenneth was the kind of man described as a very steady, dependable, and soft-spoken. The kind of man who didn't raise his voice, didn't argue, and wouldn't push back. He grew up believing that peace was something you protected, even if it meant sacrificing pieces of yourself. So, when he met Monique, she was bold, outspoken, and commanding. Now, he mistook this intensity. He found a positive through it. She's passionate, confident, and strong, but it was really dominance. You see, in the first 2 years of their marriage, this pattern was already forming, but Kenneth didn't see it yet. He thought he was being a good husband, a supportive partner, someone who kept the peace. But peace built on silence isn't peace at all. There's a moment in every long relationship where the truth reveals itself. Quietly, but unmistakable. You see, for Kenneth, that moment came when his brother, a man he hadn't seen in 4 years, they lived in different states, and they made a plan, and he showed up just to take him out for a simple afternoon together, a reunion of sorts, a moment of reconnecting, thinking of their past, a moment of joy and a chance to breathe for Kenneth. But before they could leave, Monique stepped into the doorway, not with warmth, not with curiosity, but with authority. She looked over at Kenneth and she said, "What are you two doing?" "Oh, my brother's going to take me out," Kenneth says. "You didn't ask me. You didn't run this by me." Right there in front of his brother, Kenneth froze. He's not a child. He's not irresponsible, and he wasn't doing anything wrong. But he had been trained, you see, slowly, quietly, to seek permission for everything. And so he did. and this behavior shocked his brother. He turned to her, waiting, hoping, shrinking, and he said, "Can I go out with my brother? We won't be long." She had a smirk on her face. She gained the control and she looked over at the brother. "I own him, basically." "Fine, go ahead. I'll allow it." Not enjoy yourself. Not have fun with your brother that you haven't seen in 4 years. Not that I'm happy for you. Just these words. "I will allow it." And the two men left. But the damage was already done. They tried to enjoy themselves while they were out. Two brothers catching up after years apart, but even his brother was afraid to even ask his older brother of Ken, "Is this normal for you? Is this comfortable?" He kept it peaceful, wanted them to enjoy themselves. After all, it's been several years, so what do you say in this moment? And when they were finally getting comfortable again, Monique did not let Kenneth breathe. The phone rang again and again and again. "Where are you? Who's there? What are you doing? When are you coming home?" Every call chipped away at the moment. Every interruption reminded Kenneth that he's not free, that he wasn't free. He wasn't out with his brother. He was on borrowed time. And his brother saw it. He saw the tension in Kenneth's shoulders as the shoulders ran up to his ears. He saw the way Kenneth's hand shook when the phone buzzed. He saw the way Kenneth's voice changed, soft, apologetic, small, whenever he asked, "What should I do? Do you want me home? Do you want this?" You know the answer to that. So by the end of the night, Kenneth said the words his brother never forgot. "Let's just go back. It's easier." As he smoked cigarette after cigarette now, Kenneth was a smoker, 1 pack a day. But his brother witnessed him nearly 3 packs of cigarettes in their time together. It was like walking next to a walking chimney. But he didn't question anything. He didn't say anything. The evidence was clear, because control doesn't always look like shouting, but it does look exhausting. And so, when they returned back to the home, the atmosphere shifted instantly. Monique made jokes at Kenneth's expense, little jabs, little humiliation, all delivered with a smile. The kind of comments that make everyone else uncomfortable, but make the speaker, in this case, Monique, feel powerful. She needed the attention. She needed the spotlight. She needed to be the center of the room. And Kenneth, he just absorbed it. He was used to this. He would smoke again and again, and it appeared she would smoke too, not to the capacity that he does. She was in more control. But she noticed the pattern of Kenneth, the nerves, the angst, the feelings. So he laughed when she laughed. He apologized when she mocked him. He shrank when she expanded. His brother watched it all in awe, and something inside him broke. He couldn't stay. He couldn't watch his brother be diminished like that. He couldn't pretend it was normal, so he just left. And Kenneth, of course, stayed. That was in the very beginning of their marriage. 20 years later go by. Does things change? Do patterns shift? Time didn't soften Monique. In fact, it made her sharper in her assaults. What was once controlling became dominating. What was once demanding became absolute. Every event, every gathering, every moment, she had to be the center of attention. She took it. If someone else was speaking, she interrupted. If someone else was praised, she redirected. If someone else was noticed, she made a scene. And Kenneth, well, he knew his disappearing act. He was good at it. He had over 20 years to train it. He smoked more and more, 2 to 3 packs still a day, not because he enjoyed it, but because he was the only thing he had that gave him a moment of quiet. When his brother would call him, especially during sports seasons, they would be in so many leagues together, he could hear that his speaking to him was rehearsed. He would make points to get off the phone because she must have given him a look. He could tell things were just not normal. But when she wasn't there, he got another version of his brother. This was so sad to him, but there was nothing he can do. But this is the life he chose. It's been over 20 years. They have children together now. So this was the way. A moment where he could step outside was the smoking. Even though it was inhaling smoke, he was able to breathe, reset, and escape. Cigarettes became the only space where he wasn't being watched. And then, the one place Kenneth still had left was his job. It was where he could be normal. In fact, sometimes his brother would even visit him on the job. They would laugh because he was able to have moments on his break where they can be brothers again. And then one day he said, "You better not come by the warehouse. Monique is getting hired here." The brother didn't know what to say. And Monique was hired at the same warehouse that Kenneth worked. Not in another department, not on another shift, right there. In his space, in his routine. The one part of his life that wasn't under her thumb. She became the bookkeeper. And suddenly, every moment of his day was monitored. Every break, every conversation, every movement. He felt trapped. Literally. This is not a metaphor. He was trapped in a marriage, in a job, in his life that no longer felt like his. And when you feel about it, was it? And the anxiety, the quiet, the constant anxiety became something else. The weight felt heavier, the pains felt sharper. Something he couldn't ignore anymore. How do you find Kenneth? What do you think of him? Do you find that he's dramatic in his ways? Could a person actually do this to you? Do they really confront you like this? Do they really take the scene to make it their own? Well, here's a little example. 2 birthdays in a row, matter of fact, not too long ago. He was having a birthday for himself because there were never a gift. In fact, when the children who were grown said, "At least make Dad a cake," she put on the cake. Didn't want to do this. The kids made me bake it. Didn't go out and buy him one. Put those words on the cake. The kids made me do this. As if you can't even have a special day for yourself. It's all about me. The one musketeer, Monique. One for all and all for none. Is something for Kenneth going to shift? Is a realization going to come in? A quiet awakening? A truth that has been avoided for years and years? He has been living small so she could feel big. He has been shrinking so she could expand. He has been obedient so she could feel powerful. And now he's tired. Tired of the constant being of monitoring, mocked, controlled. Tired of living a life that he doesn't feel like it's his own. She's even now involved in his sports where she participates with the friends. Even though she didn't know about it, she learned just to be in control of the game, of the leagues he's in. Is Kenneth's story about a villain, victims? What are the dynamics that do this to a person? To let someone have this kind of control and power? Does Monique get all the blame? That's my question for you. What is the cost of a person losing his identity, of becoming a behavior? These are those moments. This is Kenneth at the crossroads now. And the question is no longer, what will Monique allow? Real question is, what will Kenneth choose for himself? So you heard the story. And what goes through your mind? What goes through your mind in reference to Monique? What goes in your mind in reference to Kenneth? Well, I got to know Kenneth. Basically, shockingly, I didn't get to know Monique because she didn't come to the sessions. There was only a few of them, but she didn't come to the sessions. But I said, how were you able to get here? Well, I wasn't feeling good and she was supposed to go to work. So she did. So she couldn't take off being a bookkeeper. And she bought into me. And I don't like to lie, but I was afraid. There's a key word here. I was afraid. I was afraid to tell her where I was going, because one of the key things that in our discoveries of what we call a covert narcissist is that basically she does things to make herself more appealing, more connected, to get what she wants. Why covert? She's very obvious in her behaviors. Well, she'll make it done with laughter. He also has the title of my husband. We have children, so on and so forth. So under the radar, covert, whatever word you would like to utilize with it there. But for Kenneth, he said, again, I was afraid. And this goes beyond, as much as we'd like to point the finger on Monique, this goes beyond Monique. I got to know him through his childhood. It was a very argumentative childhood. Parents basically were constantly fighting in a household of, including him, 6 children. He was the youngest of the boys. There were 3 total, and then the 3 sisters. So he said it was a very argumentative. Money was tough. My folks had us late in life. So there was that problem there where they would go back and forth. And there was never love physically put on the table. Emotions were so argumentative that we did not ever hear the word love. So here comes a person in his life that emphasizes anything that looks remotely close to an experience of love, where he had so much doubt of actually finding someone who could be interested in me. So when you ask, well, why does he stay? Well, he has no belief system. He never had love growing up. So you get this, here's a person who wants to share her life with me, who wants to connect with me, that you literally see certain things rather than control, dominance, strength. You know, people like 2 types of people that we admire, people that are like us. So he admired her. He seen passion, strength, but it was really quite the opposite. Dominance, controlling. And why do people do this? Her own PTSDs. I said, tell me a little bit about Monique. She was the only girl. She had 3 brothers, and they were all very macho men. They all had very manly jobs. I think every one of them were in some form of, fire department or law enforcement. So she didn't have a household, and she was raised by her father because her parents divorced, and that's who took on the responsibility of full parental guidance, was her father and her brothers. So at this point there, this is the experience. This is what Monique was going through. So again, is she totally at fault? Absolutely not, even though she does have these narcissistic traits of control, because those are really screams of, if I control it and own it, it can't leave or hurt me. Think about that for a moment, because people that have control is one of my, at least, reasons that I would say in reference to the work I do, and that I've noticed the pattern. Control equals fear. Again, if I can control it, I can own it, and it can't come back to hurt me. But the problem with that is, when does it stop? When does it stop? When you get control? Nope, I'm going to take more and more and more, and it becomes a pattern. Kind of like Kenneth smoking. 1 cigarette, 2 cigarettes leads from 1 pack to 2 packs to 3, and it becomes a normal behavior. So here's Kenneth, and we've worked together. I'm going to do this, but nothing gets done. And you say, well, see, he doesn't want to change. But when you're monitored, when you're in a prison where everything is being looked upon under a microscope, and any minute change is going to raise her red flags. Now, what do you do in this case? She's not going to come to a form of therapy because she might lose control. She might hear something that she doesn't want to hear, and I guarantee that would be the case. So what does he do? Well, he has to start building his identity. He needs to take control. But he was in a household where he was the youngest, where he had 2 other brothers over him, and then he had his sister. So he generated towards that more feminine energy because the sisters came after him. So, and again, at least he was able to get some sort of connection. Now, that's the key thing. I said, what do you like to do? And he says, I like to write music. I do it for my own self-gratification. So maybe you write that into a storyline. Even if you rip it up at the end, you start rehabilitating your identity. Sing songs about who you want to perceive yourself to be. I said, utilize what you have. Utilization is the key word here. Utilize what you have if you live under a microscope. You see, that's the key factor here. Make songs that make you feel good. And even if she finds them, you don't have to list names, go, I'm strong, powerful. What is this? Maybe it's at that moment that you stand up for yourself, because the only way that this is going to make a shift, and I know there's that fear of, I don't want to be alone. I mean, he says, outside of the story you heard, it doesn't just stop there. His paychecks go to her. He now is able to cash from himself and give himself out a small percentage. It's not because their bills are so high. They have a double income coming in together. Again, it comes down to the formation of control. You heard about the birthday cake, where my kids made me do this. I really did not want to. Why? Because she wants it about her. And she made it into a joke. Ha ha, isn't this funny? But it hurt his feelings. Anything he wants with the little bit of money he gives himself, he goes out and he can only buy so much. She monitors everything. She sees everything. She's in every aspect of his life. And that's really sad also on her part. She actually needs a little bit of a kick in the butt from him to have control of his life, and for her to see consequences and benefits in reference to their relationship. So Kenneth had met me a few times. Still waiting to see if he's going to make these changes. I said, start subtle. I know the pressure you're under, but there has to be moments where you can breathe, because this is not good for you. It's very detrimental to your overall health. But again, he's such a behavior that he doesn't know how to find his identity, because everything he'll emphasize on is, yes, I'm going to do it. He's a pleaser, but I can hear it in his tonality. He's just hearing what he thinks I want to hear. So I said, you have to focus on it. Just start it in a song. Make it about someone else. Make it your alter ego. You're a superhero. Clark Kent was for Superman. Okay, Peter Parker was for Spider-Man. If you're asking, oh, I'm just writing a story, it will go over our head, trust me. Oh, okay, that's cool. What's this? Make an alias, but inside it's you. You'll slowly start to build your identity from a behavior. So he did like the way that sound. Hopefully when he gets back to me, that will have turned into a reality for him. So again, I hope this helped you listening to the show. Please put in the comments what you think. If you know someone that's going through this and you have some tools that you go, those are all good, make them into a superhero. But this helped my wife, this helped my friend, this helped so-and-so, whatever it is, please put into the comments. And subscribe, like, share, and comment. It goes a long way. And until next time, have a great day or evening, wherever.